What's good, YouTube? Dom Statement Sports Cards here, back with another video. Hope you're all doing well. And it's everyone's favorite time of year, the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame ballot season. Only difference this year is we are now under new management. Over the last 4 years, my good friend and yours, Jake, over at Legends Never Die, had been running this great community process that was started by Mike Baseball Collector, and he did a fantastic job, cared about it deeply. So I was a little shocked actually when he told me privately before it was announced that he was going to be stepping away as commissioner. But when then he told me that he was going to be handing the reins off to Ray from Philly, Scotty Tradition, and Brad 8671, how could I be upset when you're handing the reins to three community legends, guys that really care about this community, coming together, supporting the content, know the history. I thought it was a fantastic choice, and I understand more than most seeing Jake on the behind the scenes end the last couple years how much work goes into covering the YouTube Hall of Fame. So now having multiple guys to be able to divvy up the load, I think is really good for the mental capacity that it takes to log all these votes and update the website and all those things. So thank you in advance to Ray, Scott, and Brad. Good luck with the commissioning. I know you guys are going to do a great job. The one change that you made already points to that, and it's the fact that it's something I've been asking for years, is for there to be a veterans committee for some of these OG channels that get overlooked over the years. Some of them have been forgotten, some of them went quiet, because I too think that there has been a little bit of a recency bias with the last couple elections, and it's because this community has grown so much. So when a couple spots on your ballot open up, not only are there channels that have been doing this for 5, 10, 15 plus years that are deserving and eligible, but you also have some really heavy hitter guys that are first year eligible, that are coming through this pipeline and are deserving of votes as well for what they mean to this community. So adding this list of over 100 channels and being able to vote for 5 of them, with 3 of them getting elected, will help with that backlog, and I'm very appreciative for that. So without further ado, I will get into my OG Veterans Committee votes. First off, Maxa Jackson, whose first video was December 2008. So I'm talking about 15 plus. That's a long time to be on YouTube. Max does not make videos at the same pace that he used to, but when he does, it is educational, it is can't miss, it is great stuff. I extremely enjoy when he hops on Bowman 53's Card Room Lives. He's always showing off some really interesting, thought-provoking stuff. Has an amazing pre-war collection, an amazing community member. He's been doing this since 2008, people. Let's finally get him in. Next is Troy over at Packers Corner. This channel is inactive, but was one that I've been watching this community for a long time, and I used to watch a lot of his content. My late grandfather, was a huge Green Bay Packers fan. So they were always my NFC team and a team that I would follow closely. He used to always show off such amazing football cards, much like Brad. And I really enjoyed his passion for the cards, his collection, and the Green Bay connection. His first video was in February of 2010. Love to see him get honored by the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. The next one is Saul over at BD Kane 721. His first video was in December of 2011. So again, 15 years of making content almost. And Saul is such a great guy, a great community member, in live chats, commenting on videos, still making videos to this day, and a great community member that I've had some conversations with and thinks belongs in the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. The next one is Ben over at Dead Guy Cardboard. His first video was in April of 2014. Ben doesn't, much like Max, doesn't make videos as regular as he used to, but he is still well involved in this community. I see him in live chats. I see him in comment sections. I saw his YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame ballot video. He is a great community member with such an amazing collection and great name too. The one regret I have with YouTube is not picking a cooler hobby related name for the channel. Uh, Dead Guy Cardboard is right on the nose, and that channel, that collection, that man, Ben, deserves to be in the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. And last but not least, for my veterans ballot, I have Caleb's Cards, TTM, and more. July 2014 was his first video, and much like Eddie's Cardboard Chaos, who was one of the electees last year, just such a great person for the TTM community here on YouTube. Someone who's done a lot of great educational videos, has helped people offline and in comment sections, and just a part of this hobby and this community that I think has always been overlooked is the TTM world, and Caleb is one of its pillar members. Caleb's Cards deserves to be in the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. Now, as for my regular ballot, I get up to 10, and thankfully, 5 of my spots opened up. 4 of them were elected. Congratulations to Dylan Double D Vintage, Orlando over at Collector's Dream, Eddie over at Eddie's Cardboard Chaos, as well as Sammy Thunder, the Hobby Hero. All super deserving elections. So half my ballot opened up, and I again struggled and split hairs between people that had missed it recently as well as people that were first time eligible. If you did not make my ballot, I apologize. I only have 10 votes. But what's nice about this new setup with 8 people now getting in every year, this backlog that's about to start with these channels that came along at the same time that I did, and a little bit before, a little bit after, I think will over time easily be taken care of and given the honor they deserve. So again, this is the tiebreaker for the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. I did those in order of first video. I'm going to be doing these in order of first video. My first vote is a returning one, Big Scott 35. His first video was in May of 2018. Scott is extremely consistent with his weekly uploads. He does a Sunday live every week. He does a live baseball talk with his father, which is something I'm always super jealous of, that he gets to have these baseball conversations with his dad and has an archive of them. Super passionate about all things sport and non-sport, video games, wrestling, WNBA, everything under the sun, on top of being a big baseball fan and a big baseball collector. I have always been a fan of Scott, have met him in person multiple times, have been on his live show, and he's just someone that is a pillar of this community and deserves to be in the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. I hope it doesn't take him too much longer because he's been on my ballot every single year. Speaking of being on my ballot every single year, because I'm Carlos, September 2018 was his first video, card video. He was doing movie reviews before that. And talking about consistency, he has the longest running episodic live stream series every Friday night for who knows how long. Doesn't matter if it falls on New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, etc. He will go live with his cast of amazing friends and characters. I've been on that show as well. I often pop into the chat, and Carlos is really the whole package when it comes to YouTube, because not only does he show off his collecting passion and interests, but he also is able to, in a smart and sarcastic way, which I very much appreciate, call a spade, talk about what's going on in the corporate side of the hobby, in the community side of the hobby, break things down logically, reasonably, call things out, have fun with it. And I really appreciate what he does for the hobby. They are trying to get Eric to be Hall of Fame adjacent, and I hope that this vote goes towards doing that. He has a Because I'm Carlos podcast that he does every week with Eric and Bobbles. He has started a new series called Cardboard Cynics with Dan Vintage Baseball PC, and he will pop on other live streams and collaborations all the time. I don't know how he does it, but Carlos, extremely consistent and deserves to be in the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. The next one is a duo channel, Ryan and Steven over at Breakout Cards. Their first video was in September 2020. They are extremely big friends of this community, and they are not only just active at card shows, but they often watch other videos, interact on Instagram and Twitter, and are just two really, really amazing guys. Their educational content with Ryan is off the charts. He's one of the brightest young minds in this hobby. Steven is an extremely good businessman, really easy to work with. I've bought from them multiple times. I've watched a ton of their videos, and their name and them as people are Hall of Fame worthy. Uh, Breakout cards for the Hall of Fame. The next one has changed their name but stays on my ballot. Frank, now the Sports Card CPA, formerly Hall of Fame Autographs. Frank has a museum quality Hall of Fame autograph collection, multiple examples of a lot of Hall of Famers, examples of Hall of Famers that are extremely hard to have an example of. And on top of it, he'll talk to you about writing stuff off for your taxes and the business side of collectibles, insurance, etc. My favorite thing that Frank does is he does a autograph analysis series going alphabetically through all the Hall of Famers, talking about what to look for in an authentic autograph, what to look for in common fakes, how many are out there, how hard it is to get, sometimes the price range. Just an extremely great resource that this community is so thankful to have. Someone whose opinion, not just on autographs, but on the Hall of Fame and baseball, I really respect, and someone that I've gotten to know personally. Frank deserves to be in the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. The next one was a just miss for my bat last year, and that's my good friend Shane over at Shoebox Legends. His first video was February of 2021. And Shane is another guy that just consistency. He puts out videos super regularly. He shows off his passions, whether he's showing off dime cards or comma cards, it doesn't matter. Shane is extremely passionate about everything he picks up. He's super intentional. I love how he ties everything to big seasons and years. Uh, and on top of it, is one of the best people I have met during my time on YouTube. I got the pleasure to meet Shane at the Cranston, Rhode Island Card Show for the first time in person last year in February, which was long overdue. We had a fantastic day together. He then came out to Shriners for our little get together that we had with a bunch of YouTubers. And I hope to see more of Shane in person here in 2026. Shane, welcome to my Hall of Fame ballot, my friend. The next one is Iconic Baseball Al. His first video was November of 2021. Al bursted onto the scene here on YouTube with his iconic top 100, where he ranked in order from 100 to 1 the most iconic players in baseball history and showed off rookie cards, autographs, all different kinds of stuff, playing days examples of guys that he thinks are the most iconic baseball players of all time. If you have not checked out those episodes, I strongly recommend you do so. But after that, his pickup videos, his brother's duo content, he got his brother Brian, Hip Hop Professor, to join YouTube and share his collecting story. Al is just a lovable giant, a gem of a human. I've gotten to meet him multiple times. Someone that I really respect his analytical view on the game and its history, and happy to continue to keep him on my Hall of Fame ballot here. The next one is the Drew, a vintage legacy. Drew, again, someone that's extremely consistent. You know, every Saturday, you're going to hear a story about baseball, a story about Drew's collection, a story about Drew's life. And he is one of the best storytellers this community has. Drew is someone that I've gotten to know personally, that I consider a dear friend, that I've hung out multiple times with in person, on StreamYard calls, and am honored to call him a friend. He ended up burning one of his Hall of Fame votes on me, so I had to get him back. Now, he deserves to be on the ballot regardless, and Drew, you are Hall of Fame worthy, my friend. It's crazy to me that he's under 1,000 subs. He's at 900 something right now. So go sub him up if you haven't already. The Drew, a vintage legacy, a Hall of Fame storyteller with a collection that is truly a vintage legacy, true to the name. Next up is my buddy Theo over at Clemente Collector. His first video was in August 2022, showing off his top 20 Roberto Clemente cards. Theo and I have become really great friends over the years. He invited me over to a group chat with a bunch of people that started around the same time as me and him. And that Granola Grail Buddies group chat, which started out with Goonie in the Outfield lives, and then transformed into Four Collectors lives, and everything Theo has been a part of has been a success. His individual channel has over 2,000 subscribers. Four Collectors has done extremely well, and a lot of it has to do with Theo's work ethic, Theo's ideas, and it's no shock to me that he's been able to get some work with CIA auctions. He's just a fantastic dude to deal with, and someone who really is community focused, but also will put the research into both people as well as the hobby to make stuff that is not only educational but entertaining. So I really enjoy his videos. I enjoy his live series. His collector, investor, dealer series was amazing. Everything Theo has done has seemed to turn to gold, much like his pirates. And Theo is a very deserving of this Hall of Fame class coming up. I think he will be very close this year on election. Next is Midlife Cards. Greg made his first video in October of 2022. And Greg, again, consistency. Greg has put out so much content, many thought-provoking videos, many research videos, many great lives and collaborations. And the thing I always respect about Greg is he's very in his lane. Like he knows what he wants to accomplish with a piece of content or a statement, and he goes out there and he has fun. He's able to joke around, and in person he's the same exact way. He is someone that I've had great conversations with in person. I've had the pleasure of being on his channel once with a collaboration with Sammy Thunder, and a guy who has created his own midlife nation, has became one of the biggest names on the West Coast in our card community, and just a really great guy. I enjoyed the stuff that he's shown with his dad. Again, jealous of that, being able to share the collecting side of things. Your dad is awesome. Got to meet his father as well. And just a really great addition to this community. Someone who has really taken over things by storm, and part of, like I said, this new influx of great channels the last couple years and become first-time eligibles. Greg, extremely deserving, and he gets my vote. And last but certainly not least, I keep forgetting where Chris is from, but I think he's from Missouri. And Chris's first video was also in October 2022. It was a couple days after Greg's first video. Talking about someone who's just taken our card community by storm. Chris has not only become a member of our community, he's become like a ringleader, someone who has taken charge, someone who is extremely positive, extremely friendly. I don't know how you could not vote for or like Chris, and someone that I've had the pleasure of meeting in person multiple times. We had him on our Cracking Cooperstown live draft for Hobby Palooza last summer. Just an absolute gem of a person in this community. He has stories from his past for days. He's an extremely interesting man that's held a lot of different positions in life. And as the mayor of Strongsville, has put that show really on the map for our community, and is a big part of the reason why I will be attending in April. And excited to see Chris and all the people there at their get together. It's really what this community is all about. It's about bringing people together, and whether it's the national get-togethers with him buying pizzas, or the Strongsville get-together that he's put together, or everything else that Chris has been a part of, he's always been people first, and that's before you even get into his amazing Hall of Fame collection, including one of the only people on YouTube I know of that has completed the post-war Hall of Fame rookie card set registry. He has all the cards. Um, extremely, extremely amazing collection, but an even better person. Chris from Missouri gets my last vote. I hate that there's only 10. I hate that there's only 5 OG votes. Like I said, if I left you off, it is not a personal thing. I only have so many votes to give. But I appreciate each and every one of you who sat through and listened to all of this. I'm going to leave the channels in the description below. If you're not subscribed to them, please consider checking them out. I think they're Hall of Fame worthy and have something to offer you. As Mike Baseball Collector used to say, educate, entertain, or inspire. I think these channels all do at least one of those things really well, if not all three. And just be positive and supportive of all these channels, of the new management, of all these things. This is supposed to be a achievement. This is supposed to be a kudos to your peers. It's not supposed to be high school. It's not supposed to be a bickery thing. And I just hope that we continue to keep things positive in this community, because from my point of view, that's all this community has ever been. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.